Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, Harish. Hello, Suraj. Okay, we'll get started in 1 or 2 more minutes. I'm fine. How are you guys? Excited to learn subquery. Okay, yes, I'm excited to go through subqueries as well. Yeah, subqueries is a tough one. Okay, 1 more minute and then we'll start. Just waiting for more people to join. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, I think we can get started. Uh, Again, any doubts with attendance or any of the admin issues, the team will help you out. I'll answer all the SQL related questions, right? So I think the call is happening on Zoom, so I'll be monitoring the Zoom chat. Uh, and I have YouTube as well, but I think mostly the Zoom chat is what I'm going to be monitoring. Okay, let's get started. Let me share my screen. Today is going to be the last day, guys. Day three, last day. So- Okay, I think my sharing is not enabled. Team, can you enable my sharing, please? Give us 1 second, guys. Hey, team, can you please enable my screen share? Perfect. Thank you. I hope my screen is visible. Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, now it's sharing. Okay, perfect. Cool. Yeah, as I said, guys, OTP issues or whatever, I think the team will get back to you. I'm not the right person for that. I'll answer all the SQL related questions. Okay. Uh, so let's do a quick revision from yesterday before we jump into today's topics. As I said, today is going to be the last day. Some more advanced topics, very important session. Both the topics that I'm going to cover today, aggregate functions as well as subqueries, are very important from day-to-day job or even interviews, right? Some of these concepts are what separates beginners from advanced users, right? Like subqueries is a sort of an advanced topic. So we are now moving into slightly intermediate to advanced SQL. Uh, so yesterday we did uh, a few things. We did select statement in or not in, like I think some of that was easy. Then we moved into joins, right? We did joins here. Anyone want to tell me what join is on message? What are joins? Okay, interview questions, career tips again, like we did last evening. I'll spare like 10 minutes in the end of the at the end of the session to go over those questions so we don't break the flow of SQL. Uh, yeah, so we'll focus on the topic now. Any other questions I'll cover at the end. Yeah, merge. Yeah, we join the data set. We combine more than one table, right? Two or more tables. So that is what join does. The syntax for join looks something like this. I just want to refresh your memory because I had said that I will cover multiple table joins. It got left out yesterday because of lack of time. So I'm going to continue with more than two tables join today. So I just want to refresh your memory. Uh, yeah, we did inner join and left join, inner join and left join, right? So this is the syntax. What we basically do is we have two tables here, customers and orders, customer table, orders table. And then we have a common column between them, customer ID, customer ID. Customer ID is a column that is present in both the tables, right? Customers table also and orders table also. And then we did a join. If you don't specify anything here, that means that we are doing an inner join, right? We're doing an inner join. Inner join is a join which gives you results where values are present in both the tables. They have to be present in both the tables for you to get some results, right? And then as a shortcut, we gave aliases to the tables. So customers is called C, orders is called O, and then we can refer to these tables anywhere in this query with the names C or O, right? Okay, let me run this. Okay, so this was the join. You guys are able to hear me fine, right? I see someone mentioned sound. So I hope I am audible properly. Yes, just to make sure. Can anyone just reply? Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is what we did. So now we'll take it one step further. We joined two tables here, right? We joined two tables here. Now we are going to join more than two tables. We are going to join more than two tables. Okay. So let's go there. Multiple table join is what we are going to do. Before we join the tables, I think because it's been a day since you saw the tables, let's see the tables again, just so you kind of get the idea of what the tables are before we join. Okay. Okay. So customers table has customer ID, customer name, country, and income. So four columns. This table is at customer level. One row is one customer here. One row is one customer here, right? The second table we have is the orders table. It's the same tables I'm using from last time. So last evening, it's the same tables. Orders table has order ID, customer ID, and order date. Order ID, customer ID, and order date. These two tables we used, right? We used in joining yesterday. Now this last table also we have gone over just to refresh your memory. This order ID is not unique, right? You have multiple rows for the same order, which means order ID is not the primary key of this table. You also have the product ID here, right? You have the product ID means that in this order, there were four products being ordered in the same order, right? That is why you have four rows for the same order ID, right? And then you have the quantity and the price. Seems like people are ordering a lot of it at one go, right? This product is ordered in 46 quantities, right? So all these numbers look slightly large. Okay. Okay, now tell me, what if I want to join all these three tables? How will I do it? I want to join three tables. How will I do it? Customers and orders we know, right? Customers and orders we know. Customers and orders we joined using which column? Customer ID column, right? Customers has customer ID. Orders has order ID. Orders has order ID. Correct? Okay. What is the common column? Let's go step by step, one step at a time. What is the common column between orders and order details? Now, order table, right now, the table that is displaying in front of you is orders table. So just observe it for once. Order ID, customer ID, order date. Okay. What about order details? Order details. Which common column do you have? Yeah. Order ID, correct. Order ID, yes. Order ID is the common column between orders and order details. Whereas customer ID is the common column between orders and customers. Let me write that down so that you don't get confused. I'll just put a comment here. Customer ID common between customers and orders, right? And order ID is common between orders and order details, right? Okay. Any idea how we'll join these three tables? Acha, is there any common column between customers and order details? Customers and order details. Any common column between customers and order details? Yes, no. Customers, order details. Any idea? See the customers table. See the customers table. Customers table has customer ID, customer name, country, income. Order details has order ID, product ID, quantity, price. No. Yes. There is no common column. No. Country is not a common column. Date is not a common column. No. Yeah, you're right. Piyush, Gunjan, everyone. Yeah, you're right. No common column between customers and order details. Right? Okay. Okay. So how will we do this? We are going to first join customers and orders the way we did it yesterday, right? So select star from customers C, join orders O on C dot customer ID equal to O dot customer ID. Okay, so this is something that we did yesterday, right? Now, how will we join order details with this? Uh, I mean, you don't really need to use subquery here, Bharat. It's not really needed. You can do it without subquery. Whenever you can do something without subquery, always do it because subqueries are very slow. I think someone answered before. I saw the answer. Inner join with customer and order, and then inner join with order details. Correct. Yes, that is the answer. Now you join the same way you joined before, right? You join with order details table. Join with order details table. Let's say we'll call it OD. We'll call it OD. Okay. Okay. On what column should I join? I think you should get this. On what column should I join? Order details and orders. What column should I join? Order ID. Correct. Order ID. Yes. Correct. O dot order ID equal to OD dot order ID. See, what did we do? We first joined customers and orders table. Yeah, I'll explain again. Yes. We first joined customers and orders table, right? On the basis of customer ID, because that is the common link between the two, right? Common between customers and orders is customer ID. Then what we did was we joined orders and order details. Orders and order details based on order ID. Based on order ID. So you can think of this as a table that connects your customers table and your order details table. It is like a table that is between the two, right? It serves as a bridge between the two. It's also called a bridge table, right? It's also called bridge table. Yeah, it is confusing. I agree. Let me repeat one more time. Let me show you the table again. Let me show you the table again. This is the customers table. Okay, this is the customers table. Then we have note that you have customer ID here. Okay, customer ID. In the orders table, you have the order ID. Okay, you have the order ID. In the order details table, you have the order ID. Okay. Now, does orders table have order ID and customer ID both? Yes, you have order ID also and customer ID also. Yes. Okay. So this customer ID in orders table, you can link with customer ID of customers table. Yes, you can link with customer ID of customers table because you have customer ID in orders table also and in customers table also. Yeah. And this order ID of orders table, you can link with order details, right? Order details. Order details also has order ID, right? Order details also has order ID. All right. So you can think of it like this. There are three people, right? There are three people. There is one guy in between who knows both the people, right? Who knows both the people. Whereas, so you have three people, one, two, three. Let's say two knows one, two knows three, but one and three don't know each other, right? One and three don't know each other, but because two knows one and two knows three, that two can make one and three meet, right? He's a mutual friend. So this orders table is sort of like that, mutual friend between customers table and order details table. So you can connect customers and orders, and you can connect orders and order details. Now clear, guys? It's like a table in between that is connecting both the tables. Yes? Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, now it's clear. So now I'm going to run this. I'm going to run this. So now you got the entire data, right? You got the entire data. You got customer ID, customer name, country, and income. Customer ID, customer name, country, and income. All of these are from customers table, right? All of these columns are from customers table. Order ID, customer ID, and order date. This order ID, this customer ID, and this order date. All of these are coming from orders table, right? These three columns are coming from orders table. Order ID, product ID, quantity, and price. All of these are coming from order details table. So now you have joined all three tables, right? Now you have joined all the three tables together. You have joined all the three tables together based on customer ID and order ID. So customer ID is being used to join customers and orders, and order ID is being used to join orders and order details. Okay, understood. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that was multiple table join. How to avoid repeated values? Okay, yeah, good question. How to avoid repeated values? You can just put this. Let's say instead of star, you can just name the columns that you want. So you will say c dot customer ID, customer name, right? I don't know, country, and then just basically just pick the one you want with the table name. So c dot customer ID, maybe o dot order ID, and then quantity and price. So like this, you will avoid repeated columns. Yeah, see, now you don't have repeated columns. You just basically have to refer to the column that you want along with the table name so that it does not get repeated. Because I did star, it pulled all the columns even if they are repeated. But if you don't want the columns, you can just call out the specific columns that you want. Cool. All right. So let's move on. That was joins. Left join, inner join, right? Most commonly used joins. Okay. Let's move on to aggregate functions. Repeated data you don't need, right? You don't need repeated data. If you have, it's the same data. If you just do star, if you just do star, right? You will get everything. You will get everything. The rows are repeated. Rows are repeated because I'm talking to Lenovo. The rows are repeated because one customer can place multiple orders. One order has multiple items, right? So all of those rows keep getting repeated. That you can't remove because you're joining. That you can't remove because that is the way it's supposed to be. You can of course remove the repeated columns. If you're asking about this, right? Okay, I think you're asking about repeated values in the table. Okay. So if you're talking about this, if you're talking about these values, if you're talking about these values will get repeated. Why? Because this customer has placed, so this customer has placed one order 50506. Now that 50506 actually has four products in it. It has four products in it. So they have to get repeated. You have to get all the data, right? So this you can't remove. The whole purpose of joining the entire table is this. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's move on to aggregate function. What do you understand with the word aggregate? Aggregate. Guys, today's lecture is slightly on the tougher side because these are all advanced topics, right? So I'm going to go a bit slow. Especially, I think multiple join is an advanced topic. Even subquery is an advanced topic. So if you are very, very new to SQL, you might find it slightly tough, but it's okay. Like once you practice, you'll understand. Try to follow as much as you can. I'm sure you'll get like most of it. If you don't, you can ask me. But yeah, I think if you're new to SQL, it might be slightly tough. Okay. Calculations, yeah, aggregations are calculations. Basically, what you're doing is you have some data, you have some data, you are doing some sort of calculations on it. You are counting, you are adding, you are doing some minimum, maximum, averaging, whatever. You're doing some kind of calculations to do some analysis, right? If you don't do any calculation, there's how will you do analysis, right? If I ask you how many customers are there, how many orders are there, what will you do, right? You need a way to find out how many orders are there, how many customers are there, right? So those are called aggregate functions. Yes, we have count, sum, average, min, max. Those are your aggregate function. Let's start with count. Okay, let's start with count. If you know Excel pivot tables, if you have done pivot tables in Excel, it's the same concept. Aggregate functions are actually the same thing as pivot tables in SQL. Okay. So let's take the customers table. Let's take the customers table. I'm going to say select count customer ID from customers. Okay, so what did I do? I used the count function. Count is a type of aggregate function. Because it is a function, right? It is a function. You need to pass some value in it. What are you counting? You're counting customer numbers or customer IDs, right? So you have to tell MySQL, Acha, I'm counting actually customer ID, customer number, order number. What do I want to count? So I will say select count of customer ID from customers. Okay, let me run this. 120. 120. What does this mean? 120. If you had to say it in English, how will you say? What is 120? What is 120? What does this 120 number represent? Correct. There are 120 people. There are 120 customer IDs. Total. Yeah, correct. Total customers. Basically, there are total 120 customers in this table, in customers table. Correct. There are 120 customers in customers table. Yeah, total number of customer ID. Correct. Okay. Okay. You can also do this. You can also do count, count star. Instead of doing count, oops, sorry, didn't get copied. Yeah. Instead of saying count customer ID, you can also do count star. Count star will also count the number of rows only. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Count of star or count of customer ID. Okay. Yeah, here we can use as. If you want as, you can just say number of customers. It is optional, but you can. So if you say as number of customers, it will name the column as like number of customers here. Yeah, you can do that. Okay. Now let me bring up the customers table. Okay. Is it true that there are 120 rows in this table? Is it true that there are 120 rows in this table? Yes, because we got count star as 120, right? That means there are 120 rows. That means there are 120 customers in this table, right? 120 rows in this table. Okay. Now, let's say your manager or someone asks you, okay, fine, there are 120 customers in this table, but how many customers are present in each country? How do I know that? Like, for example, Netherlands, how many customers? Canada, how many customers? France, how many customers? Sweden, how many customers? UK, how many customers? Right? That is a more useful analysis. Total number of customers is a good data point, but we need to know the distribution of customers, right? Where are most of my customers based out of? So maybe I can do like promotional events or marketing efforts I will target in that country, right? Where most of my customers are based, right? So okay, if you use where, right? If you use where, you'll have to do it for each country separately. Select star from customer, select count star from customers where country equal to Netherlands, country equal to Canada, country equal to France separately. It's not very efficient. Yeah, group by is the right answer. Let me first explain what to do. Okay. Now pay attention. Very, 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 very important concept. Group by is a very, very important concept. Okay. Can I say I want country-wise customers? can I say I want country-wise customers as my output, right? I want Netherlands has whatever, 20 customers. Canada has 10 customers. France has 5 customers. Whatever that number is, right? That is the output that I want. That is the output that I want. Okay. So first of all, we need to use some aggregate function, right? What aggregate function will we use here? I'm trying to make it very basic so everyone can understand. That's why I'm asking questions again and again. Which aggregate function? No, not max. Count, yeah, count. Because you want number of customers, right? Count, perfect, yeah. You want number of customers. You want number of customers, right? If you are to manually do it, how will you do it? You will say, okay, Netherlands has one. Then you will scroll down, scroll down till you find Netherlands again. This is the second customer, then Netherlands again, third customer. So what are you doing? You're counting, right? First customer, second customer, third customer, right? So you want to count the customers. So we will say count. We will say count. You can say count of customer ID or you can say count star also. Both will work. Okay. Now if I just run this much, I'll again get 120, right? This is the same as what we did before. And we'll name it as well. Let's just name it. Okay. Cool. So if you run this, you will get 120. Now, I want it by country. I want it by country, right? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll make two changes. Okay, I will make two changes. First, I want the country to be displayed in the output. Yes, I want the country in the output. I want Netherlands has 20, USA has whatever 15, how many ever customers, right? So I want the country in the output. So first I will say select country and then comma, right? Country and then comma because I want country. I want country in the output, right? And then to tell MySQL that calculate the number of customers by country. Yes, I think many of you already know group by, but for those of you who don't know, for me to tell MySQL that I want the calculation to be done at country level. Basically, all the customers in Netherlands group together, all the customers in France group together, all the customers in USA group together. And that is what group by does. It will actually take all the customers from one country, and then it will group it together. So we are going to say group by country. We are going to say group by country. What I've told MySQL is count the number of customers by country. So I want country wise number of customers, right? So let's do this. Let's just run this. You got this. Okay. Is the country repeating in this output? Is the country repeating in this output? No, no. Country is not repeating. Country is unique. Remember this very, very important statement. Whenever you group by something, whenever you group by something, the number of rows you will get in the output will be equal to the unique number of values in that column. For example, now how many countries are there? 3, 3, 6, and 2, 8. There are total 8 countries in my data. In the customers table, right? In the customers table, countries repeating. Yeah, because there are so many customers in the same country. So country will repeat. But when you group by country, right? When you group by country, you actually get the country as one row. You get the country as one row, and then all the customers in that country are grouped together. So there are 10 customers in Netherlands. Now you have only one row. Okay. Difference between distinct and group by. Okay. So distinct actually just removes duplicates. Distinct will just remove duplicates. It will not do any calculations, right? You need to put group by so that your aggregate function that you use does some calculations. Distinct will just remove the duplicates. It will only give you Netherlands, Canada, France, Sweden. Won't really do any calculation on it. Okay. So this is what group by does. This is what group by does. Okay. I'll show you a shortcut as well. If you want to not write the column name, the entire column name, you can also say group by one. Now, what is this one? This one is the first column that is listed in your select statement. This is the first column that is, yeah, Aman, you're right. This is the first column that is listed in your select statement. So you don't have to write the country again, right? So you can just do this. It's the same thing. If you're a beginner, I would suggest don't use this. You will get confused. Just use the column name. Once you start getting used to SQL and the way it works, then I would suggest start using 1, 2, all of that, right? you can also group by multiple columns. You can also group by multiple columns. Like for example, if I had state, I don't have state in my data, but if I did have state, I would say country comma state. This is also possible, right? And then I'll have to add state here. So I will get number of customers. So let's say India, right? In India, you have Maharashtra, Karnataka, Orissa, West Bengal, right? So you will get in India, there are, let's say, total 50 customers. And then in 50 customers, they will be further broken down by the state, right? So Maharashtra will have 10, Karnataka will have 20, whatever, right? Whatever that number is. I don't have that, so I can't show you here, but it is possible to group by more than one column. Okay. Uh, okay. I'm going to write a query. You tell me what am I doing. I'll show you the table. Uh, let's do order details. I'll show you the raw table. Then you tell me what am I doing. Okay. Without seeing the table, you won't be able to. Okay. So this is the table, order details table, right? I want you guys to tell me what is happening here. What will happen if I run this? I know I've used sum instead of count, but it's the same thing. Sum means addition, right? Sum means addition. No duplicates. Okay. Order ID will not have duplicates. But what am I doing? What am I doing? How much order quantity is placed in orders? Correct. How much order quantity? Order ID के according quantity arrange होगी. Okay. Correct. Order ID के according. So according to the order ID, you will get a sum of this number. So for example, total number of quantity for each order ID. Perfect. Yes. Total number of quantity for each order ID is the answer. You have order ID here 50506, 50506. You have 4 rows, and then you have 46, 76, 34, 75, right? If I run this like this, see what happened? Yeah, it's going to show whatever we'll order one by one, right? 50506, 231. Now, what is this 231? How did this 231 come? This 231 is nothing but the sum of 46, 76, 34, and 75, right? It just summed up the entire quantity. Basically, how many units? How many units were there for this order ID, right? How many units were there for this order ID? Okay, that is what it's doing. Because we group by order ID. Acha, tell me this. Is order ID unique in the output or not unique in the output? Is order ID unique in the output or not unique? Yes, unique. It is unique. Correct. It is unique because now you're grouping by order ID. Right? That's what I said. When I did group by country, we got unique countries, right? Netherlands came only once. Right? Same way, order ID is coming only once. Right? So group by order ID. Explain group by once again. Okay. When we do group by, basically we are saying that we want to do the calculation on that level. We want to do the calculation on that level. When I say group by order ID, I'm saying sum up all my quantity, sum up my all my quantity for each order ID. For each order ID. Okay. For each order ID. Okay. So that is what group by does. Okay. Why can't we say primary key? What? Why can't we say what primary key? Can you elaborate your question? Meanwhile, I'll move on. Order ID. Huh. Order ID is not primary key of order details table. See, it's repeating. It's repeating, right? So order ID is not a primary key of order details table because it's repeating. Primary key has to be unique. So it cannot be the primary key of this table. Okay. Okay. Let's take the same example. Uh, Select. Let's say count. Let's do order ID. Okay. And then let's say we do select count. So I'm going to introduce count distinct. Okay. And again, I'm going to put the table in front of you. Okay. What will happen if I run this? Yeah, basically it creates a group using aggregate function. Correct. Yes. Yeah, table without primary key is possible to make. It's not recommended, but it is possible to make. It won't give you an error. Yes. Okay, what will happen here? Count of order ID from order details. It will show all order ID even if it's repeating. Correct. It will show all order. Basically, it'll just do a count of number of rows. Count of number of rows. Yeah. 2930. 2930 number of rows. Okay, what will happen here? What will happen here? Count distinct. You know distinct already. You know distinct already. Count unique order ID. Correct. Only the unique ones. Only the unique ones. Can you tell me if that number of unique order ID will be less than 2930, equal to 2930, or more than 2930? Count distinct order ID. Less, equal to, more. Less than, less than, less than. Yes, perfect. Less than. Because we are doing distinct. Because we are doing distinct, right? Because we are doing distinct, it is going to remove all the duplicates first and then do a count. It's going to remove all the duplicates first and then do a count. So if I just do this, select count distinct order ID, you get some number which is much less than the whatever 2930 or whatever that number was, right? So if you want to, let's say, count number of unique customers, number of unique orders, and there are duplicates in the table, you can also use count distinct. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Now, very, very important concept. First, I'm going to do a query. You tell me what am I doing. Okay. I think we have already done this, but I'll just write this again so you guys can remember it instead of copy pasting. What am I doing here in this query? What am I doing here in this query? How many customers are there in each country? Correct. How many customers are there in each country, right? We just did this above, right? Here only we did the same thing. It's the same thing here. Here, we did that, right? So we're doing the same thing here. We got this output. Again, same output, Netherlands 10, Canada 16. Okay. Now let's say I don't want all countries. I don't want all countries. I just want countries which have more than 10 customers. How will we do it? I want countries which have more than 10 customers, right? How will I do it? Using where, okay? Using where? Yeah, okay. Using where? Okay. Someone is saying having, okay. If you don't know having, even if I didn't know having, I would say where, because where filters, right? Where filters your data? Where filters your data? So we will say where number of customers greater than 10, right? That is the normal logical way to do it, okay? Now see what happens. Correct. Yeah. Some of you already know the issue. So again, like I have to explain from scratch. So I'm going to explain. See what happens here. Error. Some error, right? Some error. It says unknown column number of customers in where clause. Okay. Unknown column number of customers in where clause. Yeah, exactly. Whenever you have a result of an aggregate function or a group, right? Result of an aggregate function. What is an aggregate function here? Count, right? You have done count and you have named it number of customers. Now, if you want to filter to the result of an aggregate function, result of this count customer ID is what? Number of customers, right? If I want to filter to the result of an aggregate function, I cannot use where. I cannot use where. Where is only used for columns that are present in the original table. Is number of customers present in customers table? Yes, no. Is number of customers present in customers table? No, it is not present. See the customers table. If you have a doubt, see the customers table. See, there is no number of customers, right? Number of customers is something that we have created right now, right? Number of customers is something that we have created right now. Now, if you want to filter on this column, if you want to filter on this column, which is a result of an aggregate function, you are going to use something called as having. Okay. So where does not work? Where does not work? So what you're going to do is having number of customers greater than 10. See, now I got it. Now I got all the countries where number of customers is greater than 10. Okay. So first difference, where is used in columns that are present in the original table. Having is used when you want to filter to the result of an aggregate function, right? This is the aggregate function and you want to result. Yeah, I'm coming to that. Someone is asking, where can I put having before group by? No, you cannot do it, right? The second difference is where comes before group by, having comes after group by. That's just the way syntax is, right? It has to first group, right? First, it will get the result of all countries and number of customers, then it will filter. Then it will filter to which countries have more than 10 customers, right? So it cannot have, uh, having cannot go before group by. So that's the second difference. Where comes before group by and having comes after group by. So the important thing to remember, yeah, I'll explain again. The important thing to remember is that whenever you want to filter, okay, so first of all, this is giving you a country-wise number of customers, Namrata, right? Country-wise number of customers. You got country-wise number of customers here, right? Now, let's say I want to just limit this or just restrict this data to all countries which have more than 10 customers, right? More than 10 customers. Now, this number of customers is not present in the original table, right? Something that we have created, something that we have calculated, right? If you want to further filter a calculated column, this is a calculated column, count of customer ID, right? You're counting something. You've already counted something, right? Once you count something and then you want to further filter. So this is what we are trying to filter, number of customers. We want this number of customers to be more than 10, right? In that case, you are going to use having, where you are filtering for number of customers. You have created some calculation and then further you are filtering that. In that case, use having. Okay. So that is the difference between where and having. Okay. I think there is also average. Yeah, thank you. Okay, you got it. Perfect. There's also average. Average is pretty easy. I won't spend much time on it. In fact, let me ask you to do it. You tell me how to do it. I want average income by country from the customers table. Tell me how will I do it? I'll show you the customers table. I want the average income by country. You have income here by customer. Select average income. Okay. Select average income. Okay. What else? After this, from customers. Okay. This will give me the average income overall for the entire table. See if I run this. Average income is 86,000. Group by country. Yeah, correct. Group by country. Same way. We did count of customers. You're doing average of income. It's the same thing. And you also need to show the country, right, in your output. I think some of you have missed that. Some of you have missed that, right? So country, average income from customers, group by country, semicolon, right? And then you get this. So now you have country wise. Yeah, Aditya, you're right. Exactly the same thing that I've written, right? You are averaging the income and grouping by country. This means that Netherlands has an average income of whatever 1 lakh 2,581, probably in dollars, right? This seems like a dollar amount, right? Average annual income is probably around a lakh, $1 lakh. Here it's $72,000, something like that. These are, of course, like I think made up numbers, right? So it's a sample data set, but yeah, this is how you do an average. Okay, normal, same. If you know one aggregate function, you will know all other aggregate functions, right? Will we get that much salary? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is possible, right? Western countries have higher salaries, so depends. Okay. Same way, you can do min and max. same way you can do min and max. Having again, I think I've explained like twice or thrice. We won't be able to finish everything. I'll quickly explain it once more. Otherwise, we won't be able to get to subqueries, right? Having again, when you want to filter to result of aggregate function, meaning in this example, number of customers greater than 10, right? Number of customers is something that we have made right now, right? If I want to filter to number of customers greater than 10, then use having, which is a result of aggregate function. In short, if you have calculated something and you want to further filter that, use having. If you want to filter on a column that exists in your original table, then use where. That is the difference between where and having. Yeah, there are 5 aggregate functions: min, max, average, sum count. Min, max, average, sum count. Okay, cool. Yeah, in last, I'll explain again if you still have doubts, right? Okay. Tell me this. What am I doing here? Max of income. Max of income. What am I doing here? Max of income. What will I get? Max of income. Largest income. Yeah, largest income, right? We'll just get a number which is the largest income. Someone has a whatever $1,49,000 salary, right? And it is possible, right? And if you do min, you will get the minimum income. Okay. Min income, max income. Min income, max income. Someone has $25,000. Someone has 1,49,000. So you got both. So you can use multiple aggregate functions at the same time. Min, max, sum, count in the same query. It's possible. Okay. Okay. How will I get min and max by country? Min income, max income by country. In each country, I want minimum and maximum. How will I get that? Group by. Yeah. Perfect. Group by. Group by what? Group by country. Yes. Group by country. Group by country. Yeah. Yeah. I think most of you got it. So you got the minimum and maximum income in each country, right? You got minimum and maximum income in each country. Okay. Uh, cool. So let's do this question. This is from the orders table, and then we'll move on to subqueries. I think we have very little time remaining. Uh, but I don't want to rush. I want to make sure you guys understand. Okay. So we'll do select star from let's say orders. This is your table. This is your table. I want customer ID and their first order date and last order date. One customer can place multiple orders. See this guy, 207. He has placed 3 orders. One on 20th May, one on 27th September, one on 25th November, right? I want his first order date and last order date. How will I get it? The date on which he has placed, yeah, it's a one-to-many relationship, correct. How will I get the date on which he has placed the first order and date on which he has placed the last order, his last order? Any guesses? Understood the question? Like, for example, I have placed like 5 orders from Amazon. I want to know my first order date, the date on which I placed my first order, and the date on which I've placed my last order, most recent order. Min and max. Yeah, min and max. What will you do min and max of? You're right, Anantu. Dates. Yes, correct. Dates. Min and max of order date. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Min and max of order date. So the point is you can use min and max also on dates, not just numbers. Not just numbers. Okay. From let's say orders table. Okay. What will this give me the result? Will this give me the result I want? Nah, it won't give you. Okay. Why not? No, it won't give you. Yeah, you guys are right. It won't give me the result. If I run this, it will give me the min and max of the entire table. Min and max of the entire table. So first order for any customer was placed on 2nd Jan and the last order was placed on 17th December. Yeah, correct. Group by. Perfect. What do I want to group by? What do I want to group by? Group by what? Group by customer ID. Perfect. Group by customer ID. Because I want it for each customer. Orders, not order details. Orders. Group by customer ID. Perfect. Group by customer ID. And then I will just put customer ID here. Right. So now what this is telling me is customer ID 207, customer ID 207, his first order, I can also name this as first order date, but you get the point, right? Minimum is the first, maximum is the last. So first order date was 20th May 2023 and his last order was on 25th November 2023. Acha, what will you do with this information? Let's say this is a real problem, real life problem. What will you do with this information if you get this information? Correct. Yeah, this is giving all data for first order and last order. Correct. How will you put this in action? I want you to think from a business perspective. How will you use this information? Find out the real customers. Okay. I mean, all of these are real customers, right? Retention. Okay. Someone said retention. Good point. What do you mean by retention? Does anyone know what does retention mean? To give ads, yeah, exactly. Let's say I know that max order date or most recent date is very far behind. Like for example, we are in 2024 right now, right? We are in October. Let's say a customer has placed an order last in January of 2024, right? I know that that guy has not placed an order for 10 months. So I know he's probably not happy with it or whatever. So I'll give him some coupon or I'll send him a reminder or some ad or something like that to come back to my website, right? To come back to the website. So this is how you actually use information from like whatever you pull, it has to have some business sense, right? You have to use that to come up with some insight. So that is how you actually use it. Okay, what happened to customer? Yeah, good question. Many things could have happened to the customer. Pretty funny. Okay. Okay. Let's come to subqueries. Okay. Let's come to subqueries. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to write a statement here. This is an advanced topic, so you might find it confusing. Okay, I'll try to simplify it. Okay, first let's check the tables. Okay, it's a very confusing topic. I'll try to simplify it. Okay, first tell me this, how many tables am I using in this query? Two. Okay, orders and customers. Orders and customers, right? Here there is orders table, here there is customers table. Okay. Okay. Now let's focus on this one query here. Let's focus on this one query. See, there are two select statements here. There are two select statements here, which means that there are two queries actually, right? There are two select statements. So there is a query within a query. That's the point of subquery. Subquery is query within a query. Okay. So you have select customer ID from orders. Okay. Select customer ID from orders. I want you to tell me, will I get customer IDs that have placed an order, not placed an order, or all customers? Only for this line of code. Customer ID from orders table. These customers have placed an order or not placed an order, or all customers. Order placed. Okay. Someone is saying all customers. All customers who placed an order. Okay. Okay. Which table has all customers? Customers table or orders table? Yeah, Gunjan, you're right. Customers, yeah. Customers has all customers, right? Customers table has all customers. Whether they placed order, did not place order, doesn't matter. Okay. Orders table has only those customers that have placed an order. Yes. Orders table has only those customers that have placed an order. Do you agree with this statement? Yes. Okay. Okay. Everyone agrees. Okay. So this line will give me all customers that have placed an order. Yes. This line will give me all customer IDs that have placed an order. Okay. Now come to this. What is happening here? Select star from customers where customer ID not in, right? Customer ID not in this list. What is this list? This list is all customers that have placed an order. If I say I don't want the customer ID to be in a list of customers that have placed an order, what am I pulling? What am I pulling? Sorry, I don't think I have access to block. Team, can you just check? I don't know, like I'm not monitoring anything else, so just check. Uh, someone is someone is complaining to block someone. Can you please check once? Yeah, admin team, please take care of this. Some complaints on the chat. Please look into it. Okay. Uh, so I was saying, if customer ID is not in list of customers who have placed an order, right? What is this list of customers? What is this list of customers? I think the link got broken. Sorry. Let me just repeat it again. This is a list of all customers that have placed an order, right? This is a list of all customers that have placed an order. If I tell you, remove all those customers that have placed an order, what do I get left with? Yes, exactly. This will show the ones that have not placed an order, right? Because I'm saying not in. Because I'm saying not in. This is the point of subquery, right? You can, yeah, customers have not ordered anything. Perfect. Customers who have not ordered anything, right? We did this yesterday also using joins. If you remember, we wrote the same query to get the same kind of result using joins yesterday. You can also do it using subquery. Usually joins are faster than subqueries, right? So prefer joins when you can, but this is also a way to write it. Okay, this is one type of subquery. There are multiple types, so this is just one type of subquery. Okay, so let's move to the second one. Let's move to the second one. Instead of CT, let me first do the other one. We'll do CT after that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to write something. Okay. Select order ID, sum of quantity. Let me show the table so you guys get an idea. I think we did this again, like we did this just like few minutes back. I'm just doing it again. Okay. This is the order details table. This is the order details table. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Select order ID, sum quantity. What are we doing here? Any guesses? What are we doing here? Total quantity of orders. Yeah, total quantity by order ID, right? We did this again, like few minutes back. For each order ID, how many units are being ordered? Total quantity by order ID. Perfect, Nitish. Yes. Okay. Cool. Let me do this. Okay. So now we got total quantity by order ID. Okay. Total quantity by order ID. Okay. Now observe very carefully. It'll get slightly confusing. Okay, see what I'm doing. I am putting this here. I put this statement in a bracket, right? Whatever we had written, what gave us this output, I put it in a bracket. I'll put a tab here. I'll give it some name called A, or you can give it any name. Okay. So what I've done is, first I have calculated order ID wise total quantity. Okay, order ID wise total quantity, which we got here. As a next step, I want to get the average. I want to get the average. Yeah, nested query, correct. Yeah. I want to get the average of total quantity. I want to get the average of this column. Let's run this first. So you got 492, right? 492 is the average. So what I have first done is I have total quantity by order, right? Per order ID, how much total quantity is being ordered. Then I took the average of this column. Then I took the average of this column, which gave me some number, basically 492. So per order, on an average, there are 492 units being ordered. It's a pretty high number, right? So you can see here, you have 231, some have even 1000, some have 350, some have 871, some have even 41. So this is low, right? Yeah, I'll tell you why to write A after the bracket, right? So now this becomes your inner query. This becomes your inner query, and this becomes your outer query. Sorry, this becomes your outer query. This becomes your inner query. Assume what it does is something like this. Yeah, why A? Why A is something that MySQL expects you to do. It expects you to write some name that it will store this data in temporarily, right? It will store this temporarily in something called A. You can give A, B, C, X, Y, Z, whatever you want, but it is compulsory. Some DBMS languages don't require this A. I honestly don't see the point, like why you would need A. You can directly write it like this. But MySQL, what it does is you have named this as A, and this then defaults to something like this from A. Basically, this query becomes this. This query becomes this. It doesn't know what A is, right? It doesn't really know what A is. A is just something that we have said, this results of this is A. Now you give me the average quantity from A. So this is what subquery. It's basically two-part query. First, it will run this, get some results, store it in A, and then get the average quantity from A. Okay, select average total quantity from A. It's a tricky concept. This is probably like one of the most advanced topics in MySQL, subqueries, right? So uh, I hope it's clear. Any doubts in this? Do you want me to explain again? This subquery, or it's clear? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. Let me explain again. Yes, I kind of expected it because it's an advanced topic. Okay. Yeah, I think some of you have it clear. Some of you don't have it clear. Okay. I'll explain it again. Okay. So you have select star from order details, right? This is your original table. This is your original table. Okay, this is your original table. As a first step, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to first get some of this column, quantity column, and group by order ID. Okay. So 50506, the result will be 46 plus 76 plus 34 plus 75, because these four rows belong to 50506. I just want one row for 50506, right? I just want one row for 50506, and the result should give me the addition of these four, right? Till now clear? This inner query, is this inner query clear? It's a normal group by that we did some time back. Yeah. You got 50506, 231. That was the sum of those four items, right? Or four numbers. Yeah. Okay. Now, this table, the results of this table, assume that they get stored in A or B or C, whatever you want to give it, right? But you have to give some name here. Otherwise, it'll throw an error. If I just remove this, right? Let's say I remove this. It will throw an error when I run it. It will not run. It will not run, right? So I'll just give it a name called A. Okay. I'll give this name called A. Now, I want to run some calculation on this table, not the original table. Order details was the original table. I don't want to run any calculation on order details. I want to run a calculation on something that is derived from the order details table, right? So it has, no, you cannot put A before the query. It will not work. Okay. So you want to first group by order ID, you put some calculation. Yeah, A is a temporary thing. Correct. A is a temporary thing. You have put that into A and then you will take the average of this. You will use subquery when you have like two-step process, like a two-step calculation. First, you have to calculate something and then on top of that, you want to calculate something, right? First, you want to calculate something and top of that, you want to calculate further things. Then you will use a subquery. So what I've done is I've calculated this before. Now further, I want to take the average of this, right? If I run this, I get this number. Basically, how to interpret this number is on an average, 492 units are being ordered per order. On an average, right? Some might be 1,000, some might be 40, some might be 500. On average, 492 things are being ordered. Okay, that's the interpretation of the final. Yeah, A is nothing but a variable. Like it just stores this temporarily. It will not come here. You will not see A here. A is not a table. Right? A is not a table. You can use having within subquery if you want to. You can use, but having for the purpose of this query will not help. You can if you want to, but it is not something that we are trying to do here. If you want to filter to something in between, then you can use having here. Like put having here, it will work. You can make subquery as complex or as easy as you want. Yeah, as I said before, you cannot put before the query, guys. It has to be followed, like you have to first write the query and put after that. It will not work if you put A before that. Okay. Okay, so this is your normal subquery. Final output is kind of confusing. It's not really confusing. If you think about it, it's just telling you the average of this number. Like, let's say you placed one order, right? You placed one order and total units you got was 10. Okay, I placed 5 orders. In my first order, there was 50, second order, there was 40, third order, that was 20, fourth order, so on and so forth. Now, if I average all of those values, that is what you get in the output. That's all. How many items are there on average per order? That is what we are calculating here. If you had to like translate this question into like a normal English language, that is what it is. On average, how many units are being ordered in one order? That is what this is. Subquery is confusing, guys. It needs a lot of practice to get good at it, right? My purpose is to introduce you to the concept. I think many of you have got it cleared, right? If you are not clear further, I would say practice some more examples. It's a concept that I also personally found it difficult. This and window functions when I was starting SQL, right? It takes a lot of practice to get used to thinking like this, right? Because it's not very straightforward, right? How many orders are placed by customers? Can we try this? You can try this. You can do the same thing. How many orders are being placed? You'll have to join though. You'll have to join though. Yes, the video will be available after the bootcamp. Yes. Okay. Suraj is saying, so basically we are first summing all the quantity and then store it in temporary variable and then find the average. Perfect. You got it. Bang on. Correct. Something like that. No, exactly like that. That is what we are doing, Suraj. Okay, why Aditya is asking why should we use subquery if you want average of quantity? So simple query will also work. Okay, it will not work. Why? If I do just this, right? You mean something like this, right? Why use a subquery if you can just do average, right? This is doing something very different. This is doing something very, very different from what this is doing. What this is doing is, so if you see the table, this is your table, right? If I do this, I'm no longer averaging at an order level. I'm averaging at an order product level, right? 46 is the unit of this order and this product combined. So it will do the average of 46, 76, 34, 79. This number will be very different. See. Okay, total quantity is not there. I think you meant quantity. Total quantity is in the above query. My bad. Yeah, here. See, this number is 53, much lower, right? Whereas this number, first you are summing up at order level, then averaging. That's why that number is much higher, Aditya. I hope it's clear. This number is just an average of all the quantities that are there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think quickly, last 10 minutes, I'll just show you one more way of doing this, more popular way of doing this. It's called CTE. It stands for Common Table Expression. Okay. So what we did earlier, right? This one, let's just replicate it. This one, I think you'll get. It's easy to understand. With A as, just follow along. Just observe what I'm doing. Let me just run it to make sure it runs and then I'll explain what I did. Okay, same answer, right? Same answer. See, 492, 492. Okay, what did I do here? Observe this and tell me the difference between the two in writing it. Any guesses? Any guesses? This and this. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Yes, that's the answer. Someone answered on the chat. Here, what you're doing is your inner query is named A and then you're doing the calculation. Here, what you're doing is you've first given it a name and then done the average. Okay, then done the average. It's the same thing. It is doing exactly the same thing. Some people prefer writing it like this. Some people prefer writing it like this. I have now gotten used to writing it like this. This is more industry accepted standard. It's easier to interpret also. Right? Yeah, declared A first and then the calculation. Yeah, if you have a doubt, please ask, guys. You don't have to say I have a doubt. Just ask your doubt. Yeah, it's like do while. Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. Yeah, this is a more easy step. I agree. This is easier to interpret because this nested thing always gets confusing when you're reading it. But here you first declare it and you can declare as many CTs as you want. This is called common table expression. You can declare A, B, C, D first, all of it, and then use A, B, C, D together. What answer will we get in subquery average above? Which one? Which one, Anish? Are you talking about this one, 89 to 90 or something else? With A as. This one. You will get the same result. You will get the same result. See, here you got 492. You got 492.69. Here also you will get 492.69. See, same result. It's the exact same thing. Just a different way of writing it. That's it. Right? So that is what CT is. Okay. Uh, I think we have 5 or 6 more minutes before I open it up for more questions. Okay. Uh, let's try this. Now that you've learned so many things, let's try. It'll be slightly difficult for you, I'm sure, because you are beginners. Let's attempt to solve some questions, right? These are the kind of questions you'll get in your interview. No one will tell you, okay, this is a screenshot, pull the data like this. They'll tell you some statement, English statement, right? Get total orders by country. How will you do this? Yeah, guys, I'll answer like interview stuff and all in like 5 more minutes. Let's first do a couple of questions just to get some practice, like hands-on practice of how you have to solve these questions. Count, okay, count, okay. First question. So whenever you have a question like this, right, first visualize your output. Total orders by country. How many columns do I need in the output? How many columns? Let's break down the problem. How many columns do I need? Two. Which two columns? Yes, two columns is the right answer. Which two columns? Which two columns? Country and total orders. Yeah, country and total orders is your are the columns that you need. Correct. Okay. Second thing, do I need one table or two tables? One table or do I have to use two tables or one table here? Country and orders. Yeah, exactly. Not one table, guys. Not one table. Two tables. Yeah. See, your customers table has country, whereas total number of orders is there in orders table, right? Total number of orders is there in orders table. Guys, please don't spam the same question. I'll get to it, right? I can't like break this and answer questions, otherwise people get confused. Okay, I'll get to the questions. Okay. Do we have to join? Do we have to join? Yes, 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 yes. Two tables we have to join. Okay, let's join. Okay, inner join, left join. Which one? Inner. Yes, correct. Inner is the right answer because I don't care about customers who have not placed an order, right? So inner join is fine. Okay. Okay, now tell me what should I change here to get the answer? What should I change? Complete yet. What should I change? What's the output that we need? Do we need country in the output? Yes or no? Remove star, okay? Remove star is the correct first step. Count, okay? Count is the right answer. Count. What are we counting? What are we counting? Orders, yes, orders. So I'll say order ID. Okay. What else do I need? What else do I need? Country, correct. Country, yes. Country. Okay. What am I missing? What am I missing? Group by country, yes. Not order by, group by. Group by country. Perfect. This is what we want. We got the number of orders by country, right? Okay. Uh, okay, now I think I'll stop here. I did have like a couple of more questions, but I don't think we have the time. Uh, Please do explain that with a as. I'm confused there before we move on to the question session. Okay, I'll explain with again. Okay. What we did here was we first calculated this. Select order ID, sum of quantity as total quantity from order details, group by order ID. Okay. Normal. What we did before, we did the same thing again. What we did differently here was we just stored the result of this in A. It's the same thing as what we did here. We stored this in A. Here also we stored this in A. Just the format in which we stored it is different. Here we stored it in the inner query. Here we stored it first and then used the average. Right? I think Suraj, right? Suraj asked. Here we stored this in A first and then did the average, right? Like in inner query, and then in the outer query, we did the average. Here we first stored it in A and then used the A and did the average. That's all. It's the same thing. It's just flipped. It just flipped. Here it's inner and average is outer. Here first we did this and then we did the average. Okay. Yeah. Now you got it. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Then we return its output as average. Yeah. Nitin, you're right. Chandu. Okay. How to import CSVs? Yes. You've been asking this for a long time. The way you import CSV is right click, okay, and say, here, wait one second. Right click here and say table data import wizard. Okay, table data import wizard. Just go to the file that you want to import. Just go to the file that you want to import. Click on next, right? Let's say I have orders table here. Click on next. It will automatically detect your columns and your values, and you can change the data type if you want from here. Click on next. If I click on next here, it will just import the data in that table for you. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm explaining, Chandu, how to import Excel and CSV file. That is literally what I explained right now, right? CSV file. You just have to navigate to your this one here. You just have to navigate to the location where your file is. Give it a name. Give it a name. Select your data type. See it automatically. For example, I am importing orders table here, right? Orders table. So it automatically detected. Windows also same thing. It's the same thing for Windows also. If you right click on your database, right, you will get this option, table data import wizard. You will get table data import wizard. It'll look exactly the same as what it is looking for me. Okay. Right click on database name. Yeah. Right click on database name. Why we got different answer in average containing subquery and a normal one? Okay. So the reason why we got different answer is because when we do average of total quantity, we are doing, it's not total quantity, sorry, it's only quantity. Because total quantity is something, wait, where is it? Here, sorry, this one. Okay, this one. This is doing the average. This is doing the average of this number. See, it's doing the average of 46, 76, 34, 75, all of that. Okay. Whereas here, what we have done is first we have added that 46, 30, whatever, 75 first, and then done the average. That is why the results are different. Here, you have straight away taken the average, right? You have straight away taken the average. And in that other example, first you have summed it up and then taken the average. Okay. Important topics. Okay, so we can start with the questions now. Last 10 minutes, you can fire away any questions you want. Important topics for interview for data analyst job. So I think I covered this before. In terms of tools, you need Excel, Power BI or Tableau, SQL, and Python is a good to have. Okay, Python is a good to have. Those are the tools. In terms of SQL, important topics are aggregate functions, subqueries, joins. I think should be good. For DS, I think DSA, like the way I understand data science, DSA is not like mandatory, but I'm not much of a DSA person, so I'm not able to comment on that. I'm more of a traditional data science guy. So advanced topics in SQL are subqueries and window functions. Yeah. What we did here is pretty advanced. The last lecture at least. Joins and subqueries are advanced topics. Important topics in Python. I mean, your normal, like your libraries like pandas and all of that. I think the usual is like a lot of content available on that. Uh, how to know whether to use subqueries or not? There's no magic formula, unfortunately. Just remember this, that if you have to perform a series of calculations one after the other, right? You have something you have to calculate, and then on top of that, you want to do further calculations. Then that is a hint that you need to use subquery, but it'll only come with practice. Like when to use versus not, you will only know once you solve problems using subqueries. What type of project should be done for data analyst? I think a good project is something that solves a real problem. It should have like a dashboard. It should have a problem statement. It should not be a So in my mind, a good project should not be ki you got a question, pull top 10 customers, pull revenue. That is not a good project. Like usually you have to come up with those questions to ask. So a question might look like, what can we do to increase revenue, for example, and then you have to go into the data to figure out what question should I answer to solve that problem statement. So it could be dashboards, it could be SQL analysis. So you can use series of tools, right? You can build a dashboard and do some analysis and build a portfolio project out of that. Uh, Real life database project. I can't really show it right now. I don't have access to it. I can't really show it. Uh, what else? What else? I'll pick the ones that I've not answered before so that it's new information. Otherwise, you can watch the recordings for the older one. Practicing SQL projects. I mean, there are like good YouTube channels as well as some online portals as well to practice. I think SQL Bolt, Data Lemur, all of these are good platforms to practice. Difference in SQL and MySQL I explained in the first lecture, guys. I think MySQL is just a DBMS tool. SQL is a language. So MySQL uses SQL as a language for all the processing. Important SQL topics for interviews. Yeah, I think as I mentioned, aggregate functions, subqueries, joins, and window functions. Window function is like probably the most advanced. Uh, What libraries to learn in Python? I think you only mentioned all of those, right? Like pandas, NumPy. Yeah, those are probably enough. I think important step is don't focus on just the tool. Focus on actually solving a problem. Like just learning Python will not get you a job. You have to show that you can solve a problem using Python. My roadmap. Okay, so uh, I mean, I started off with Excel and SAS back in the day, and then I switched to SQL. So I know SQL, I know Power BI, I know Tableau, I know intermediate Python. So all of the tools I know. But I think what has helped me the most is not just the technical tools, but actually thinking in business terms, right? Like how do I solve this problem? For a fresher, it's a bit hard to develop that mindset, but it'll come with experience. For now, you can learn the tools, but always focus on what you're trying to solve rather than just writing queries or code. Uh, Name is not showing. I don't know. Certificate is not something I can answer. I think the team will help you out with that. Sorry. Any other questions? Last 2, 3 more minutes. And this is the last session, so I don't think we'll meet again. What are switch cases? I think switch cases is like case when. So switch is something that is there in Power BI as far as I know. I'm not really sure about that one, but it's if else basically if else. Um, Is it good to learn MySQL or MongoDB for Java? Sorry, Java backend developer. I have no idea. It's not my area of expertise, so not really able to comment, guys. How many days it's required to learn all queries in SQL? I think I would say to be okay, decently good at it, you probably require like 2 months, 2 to 3 months. If you want to be really good at it, like I've been using SQL for like probably 6 years, and that after that practice, I can of course like do this very quickly now. But I think to be very good at it, 6 months, 6 months to a year, you will get like really good at it, and then of course like 2 to 3 years to be like a master at SQL. So. Uh, How to manage data without in form of text file, which DBMS? Sorry, I don't get your question. I didn't understand your question. How to manage data what? Like uh, companies for SQL career. I think any data analyst job will use SQL. Uh, most good companies, data mature companies have SQL databases and interviews. I think most of them, I think even if you just search on Glassdoor or anywhere, you will get interview questions for SQL. Uh, internship. Data cleaning, just data cleaning is not enough. You need to do an end-to-end project. Do data cleaning, do the analysis, build a dashboard. Do everything end-to-end project. Only then you will get the uh, cool. I think last couple of questions. Sorry, I'm not taking the questions that I can't answer. Mostly about names and certificates. So yeah. Please reach out to the team, guys. LinkedIn and all of that again. Please reach out to the team if you want more details about me. DBMS software related to MySQL. MySQL itself is a DBMS. So data analytics careers is good in India or Western countries, both. I mean, of course, from India, if you want to go abroad, it's very, very high competition and high cost. But India has good prospects for data analytics, data science. SQL will help me in future for finance. It really depends on what in finance you're doing, right? Like if you're just doing Excel reporting, then SQL will not help. But if your company has databases that you can query data from, then it can. Okay, guys, I think we are on time. I hope you enjoyed the session. I really enjoyed teaching you guys. And yeah, wish you the very best of luck for anything that you do in the future. I hope I sparked some interest in you for SQL, and I hope you build a career in this or anywhere else, right? So was lovely teaching you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, I think that's about it. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Thank you.